The Barreto Manufacturing 7T-SC Sod Cutter is the newest piece of equipment in the Barreto manufacturing lineup of landscaping equipment. And just like all other Barreto equipment, it's easy to use. This video will walk you through how to transport, then safely start, operate, and maintain your Barreto Manufacturing 7T-SC Sod Cutter. Please note, this machine is designed for cutting sod in normal ground of reasonably soft dirt. Ground with large stones, high clay content, very hard packed, very dry, or in a frozen condition may be unsuitable for normal sod cutting. Road transport of the sod cutter. The best way to transport the sod cutter over roads is with the Barreto E3x4 DGT trailer. The towing vehicle should have a 2-inch ball, and the hitch should be in good repair and securely fastened to the vehicle. Place the hitch over the ball and securely fasten the hitch to the ball by tightening the hitch nut. Attach the safety chains by crossing the chains under the trailer tongue to prevent it from dropping to the ground if the trailer comes loose. Allow only enough slack in the chains to permit proper turning of the vehicle. Do not let the chains drag on the ground or be drawn up too tight. Slack strength should hold the tongue and coupler off the ground with the trailer loose. Attach the safety chain to the towing vehicle in such a way that it cannot come off accidentally. Check the hitch-to-ball connection after driving a few blocks and retighten if necessary. Always exercise extreme caution and allow extra clearance while towing a trailer. Loading procedure. To load the 7T-SC onto the Barreto E3x4 DGT trailer, position the tow vehicle and attached trailer on level ground. Unlatch the tilt bed trailer and tip the front of the bed up so the back end of the trailer bed rests on the ground. Line up the sod cutter with the rear of the trailer. The front of the machine should be toward the trailer. Throttle the engine down and move control speed lever to the slow setting. The drive lever will allow variable speed and forward. Slowly drive the sod cutter forward onto the trailer bed. Warning: navigating on the inclined trailer bed or ramps increases the danger of the sod cutter tracks losing traction, especially if the bed surface is wet. Stay out of the way to avoid personal injury if you lose control. Drive the sod cutter onto the trailer in the forward direction. The trailer will tilt when the machine moves past the trailer bed balance point. Shut off the engine at the throttle lever to also close the incorporated fuel shutoff valve. Failure to shut off the fuel can cause gasoline to enter the cylinder, causing damage that is not covered under warranty. Refer to the shutdown procedure for details. Before towing, secure sod cutter to the trailer on the front and back using the tie-down points as indicated by decals on the body. Unloading procedure. To unload the 7T-SC from the Barreto E3x4 DGT trailer, position the tow vehicle and attached trailer on level ground. Remove all chains or straps connecting the sod cutter to the trailer D-rings. Start the engine using the engine startup procedure. Unlatch the tilt bed trailer pin. Carefully drive the sod cutter slowly in reverse and down the ramp trailer. Using the drive lever, slowly reverse the machine until the trailer bed tilts and the sod cutter can be completely removed from the trailer bed to the ground. Before you operate. Before you operate the 7T-SC sod cutter, look to make sure nothing is worn or damaged on the machine and check all fluid levels. Grease all the grease zerks. Properly greasing the machine is a requirement for safe and efficient operation. Replace any worn or damaged parts. Be sure that the engine oil, fuel, and hydraulic fluid are all at proper levels before starting the engine. Before starting, familiarize yourself with the controls. Locate the throttle lever, choke lever, the pull start cord and handle, the cutter lever, the speed lever, the drive lever, the cutter level, and both engine kill switches. One is located on the control panel. The other kill switch is incorporated into the Vanguard engine that uses a combination of throttle ignition switch. To kill the engine, simply push the throttle lever toward the red stop portion and the engine will shut down. Once you've familiarized yourself with the controls, you're ready to start the machine. Startup procedure. First, turn the ignition switch located on the control panel, located on the handlebar control, to the on position. Next, make sure the cutter lever is in the off position, show forward. If the engine is cold, close the choke completely. Move the throttle lever to the 1/3 position. This lever is located above the choke. And pull the starting cord located on the engine recoil. Allow the engine to warm for 45 to 60 seconds and then open the choke up all the way and slowly move the throttle lever to maximum. Once the engine is completely warmed up, you're ready to proceed to your project site. Driving the 7T Sod Cutter. Move the speed lever to the slow position, turtle, and engage the drive lever forward. Operate in the slow position until you have developed confidence and complete control of the machine. Then move to the fast position, rabbit, and move to your cutting location. When you get to your cutting location, please note that you never cut sod in the fast position or in reverse. Only cut sod while moving forward in the slow position. Release the drive lever and move the throttle to the idle position. Setting cut depth. The 7T Sod Cutter has a very simple depth adjustment. Simply lift the back of the machine and squeeze the depth paddle and unlock the depth arm from the top notch. The top notch is used for transporting or moving the machine around the job site. When you're ready to set your cut depth, squeeze the depth paddle and move the depth arm to the desired depth notch. Once you have released the depth paddle, the depth arm is locked into place and you're ready to start cutting sod. Cutting sod. Once you have set your depth, move the throttle lever to maximum and make sure your speed lever is set to slow, turtle, and engaged in forward drive while pulling the cutter lever back toward you. This engages the cutter while the machine moves forward. When you get to the end of your desired cut, simply lift the rear of the machine while keeping the speed and cutter levers engaged and allow the machine to cut its way out of the sod. Then release the speed and cutter levers and set the machine down. Note, the machine is not designed to cut in reverse. The cutter blade will shut off and cannot be engaged in the reverse lever position. Barreto sod cutting tip. Whenever possible, water the lawn before cutting sod. This allows the machine to more easily cut the sod and prolong the life of the blade. Shutdown procedure. Always leave the sod cutter parked on a level surface. Unless the sod cutter is parked on a trailer, lower the cutter blade to the ground. Reduce the throttle lever to idle, and then either move the ignition switch to the off position or continue pushing the throttle lever to the stop position. Both will shut off the engine. Safety is paramount. First, locate all of the safety decals on the machine. They are well marked and easy to find. Safety decals with danger, warning, or caution are affixed to the sod cutter near specific hazards. Be aware of these decals. Second, it is mandatory to wear proper personal protection equipment. This includes helmet and eye protection. The cutter blade may throw stones and debris. Hearing protection. The machine is loud, and exposure to loud noise is cumulative and can permanently damage your hearing. Wear safety boots and gloves. Wear close-fitting clothing and contain any long hair. Do not wear jewelry. And always wear reflective clothing if operating near traffic. Only operate the engine outdoors. Engine exhaust contains carbon monoxide gas that is toxic. Breathing it can cause unconsciousness and death. And make sure you have adequate lighting, either natural or artificial, for safe operation of the sod cutter. Allow adequate side and overhead clearances between the sod cutter and any objects such as buildings, fences, and trees. Do not tape any of the levers on the 7T Sod Cutter or bypass these safety features in any way. Always perform a work site assessment that includes calling 811 before you dig or cut sod. If you do not call, you may cause an accident, suffer injuries or death, cause interruption of services, damage the environment, and/or incur project delays. Expect to be held liable for any damages caused if you fail to call. Buried electric cables or gas lines can cause serious injury or death if struck with cutter blade. Always determine location of utilities before cutting sod. And avoid cutting fiber optic cables. They convey laser light that can injure your eyesight. Stay clear of moving parts on the sod cutter. The cutter blade and other moving parts can cut off arms, legs, or fingers. Contact with the cutter blade while in operation can cause serious injury or even death. The cutter blade edges are sharp. Avoid contact even when the cutter is not moving. Avoid inclines if possible. Navigating on any incline increases the danger of the sod cutter losing traction or rolling over, especially if the surface is wet. If you lose control, get out of the way immediately to avoid personal injury. Navigation on incline should be especially slow and turns very gradual. Note: Vanguard engines have an oil alert system that will automatically stop the engine if tipped more than 20 degrees. Always allow the machine to cool before refueling. Fuel fumes can catch fire or explode. Absolutely never smoke or allow anyone else to smoke, allow flames or sparks in the area while you are fueling the machine. The sod cutter is very heavy. Do not attempt to manually lift it. During operation, keep away from the tracks to avoid getting crushed. Getting run over by the sod cutter will cause injury. Do not leave the sod cutter unattended with the engine running. Do not touch the engine, exhaust, or hydraulic components until the machine is completely cooled down. These get hot enough to cause serious burns. And always allow the machine to cool properly before performing any cleaning or maintenance. When machine is operating, hydraulic fluid is under extreme pressure and can get under skin and burn or poison. Avoid contact with hydraulic fluid. During operation, keep others away. Warn and divert both motorized traffic and pedestrians. As appropriate, use traffic flag personnel, signs, cones, and lighting devices to ensure safety. Never allow anybody to ride on the sod cutter while being driven. And never lift sod cutter over any person at any time. If the sod cutter should fall, it would crush anybody under it. It is recommended that all operators have a fire extinguisher suitable for petrol fires in the operating area. After the job. Once sod cutting is complete, move the 7TSC to level ground and park. Lower the cutting blade onto the ground. Perform the steps in the shutdown procedure. Let the machine cool entirely before refueling, performing maintenance, cleaning, or touching the engine, muffler, hydraulic components, or hydraulic fluid. Always thoroughly clean and service sod cutter after every use. To clean the machine, wait until it is cool and then spray it down with water. Once clean, run the machine briefly to remove water from the system. Once you return to the shop, complete all other required cleaning and lubrication. For specifics on these tasks, consult your owner's manual. For more information, visit www.barretomfg.com.